If you are wondering if creatine is indeed good for you, watch on and don't watch other influencers' videos about creatine first, as later you understand. So, other than protein going viral in the fitness world, another supplement has been on many fitness and wellness influencers' lips, creatine. Some people say it will make you look like those high-rise half-naked people, while some people say it will make you smarter. So what's the deal? First thing first, let's address the most common misconception. Creatine is not a steroid. In fact, your own body already makes about 1 gram of it every single day by itself. Also, you already eat creatine from food, about 1 to 2 grams daily from a normal diet. So, what is it? Think of creatine like a power bank for your muscles. Your muscles run on something called ATP. Basically, the battery your body uses every time you sprint, lift, or chomp to catch the closing MRT doors. But your muscle only holds about 10 seconds of ATP before the battery is flat and needs to recharge. Creatine is the power bank that sits there, ready to top up ATP so you can keep going a few more seconds. So it doesn't maintain or grow your muscle. It just gives you more energy for a short while, letting you be stronger for a while. Another way to think of it is as an add-on RAM to your computer lah. Think of your computer as muscle. So a RAM doesn't add more CPU or memory or whatnot, but it lets your computer run more program at once, so it makes it stronger. And for the creatine supplement, it's not new. The first major study was done in 1992, which showed that creatine pills could increase muscle creatine by about 20%. Since then, over 500 studies have been conducted on it, making it the most researched sports supplement on the planet. But why does it blow up now? Well, there are 3 reasons. Firstly, it's due to, of course, TikTok lah. You can see here that the hashtag creatine has increased quite a lot in the last 3 years on TikTok. And secondly, women are into it now as well. UCLA Health in October 2025 reported growing research into creatine for post-menopausal muscle and bone health. And thirdly, it's due to new brain studies, which lead to many influencers talking about it. Later, I'll come back to this, so just know that many influencers are suddenly talking about how it improves our cognition. So, is it true? Is creatine really good for us? If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. Now, since I don't provide opinion, as I'm just a cat on the internet and therefore no one give a damn about my opinion let me just tell you more about the studies done. A 2022 meta-analysis published in the journal Nutrition pooled data from 35 studies with 1,192 participants finds that creatine combined with resistance training adds an average of 1.1 kg of lean body mass. For older adults, a 2017 meta-analysis in the Open Access Journal of Sports Medicine found 1.37 kg more lean muscle mass compared to training without creatine. But of course, remember, you need resistance training which is working out. And here's the thing, the latest research showed that it helps our brain too. In February 2024, a study in Scientific Reports showed that high-dose creatine helps in brain functions. Researchers kept 15 subjects awake for 21 hours and gave them either a high single dose of creatine, 0.35 gram per kg or about 25 gram for a 70 kg person, or placebo. That is a very high dose. As for a normal dose for the muscle, it's 3 gram to 5 gram per day. The creatine group performed better on short-term memory and processing speed tests. In fact, kicked in at 3 hours, peaked at 4 hours, and lasted up to 9 hours. A follow-up study in 2026 published in Nutrients MDPI tested a lower dose of 0.2 gram per kg on 29 subjects during speed and still show improvement in logical tasks, numerical tasks, and psychomotor vigilance. Because of this, researchers are now looking into creatine for Alzheimer's protection, post-menopausal women, depression, and even fetal brain development during pregnancy. Although the pregnancy claims are mostly based on animal studies, not human trials. So simply put, many studies show that a normal dose of 3 gram to 5 gram helps in muscle development, and new studies show that higher dose helps in brain function. As for how much higher, I won't say because they are rather high You can read the links I've added in the description for more info. But here's the thing, there's a chance that 20 to 30% of people are biological non-responders, meaning creatine does nothing for them, regardless of dose. And creatine without exercise does basically nothing or you still got to live So with this, you can decide if creatine is indeed good for you. But before that, you need to know something. Because of this, people are exploiting this data to make money. Now, for full disclosure, I do take creatine regularly, and let's just say that I'm being exploited Firstly, taking creatine powder is unlike taking protein powder. It's kind of like consuming sand, so it's quite troublesome, as I sometimes have to chew the powder after mixing it in water, and that is when brands started selling tasty creatine gummies. But here's the problem, some of them don't actually contain creatine, or contain very little creatine. Now, I'm not going to name names, but a few organizations did some testing of the creatine gummies, and let's just say that they failed quite badly Some gummies contain less creatine than promised. Also, even if they do do contain the promised creatine, do look at the packaging. They might say 1 serving is 1 gram of creatine, but here's the thing, 1 serving is not 1 gummy or it could be a few gummies. Okay, even if we skip the gummies, how about we buy brandless creatine powder online? Well, I personally have tried to buy cheap creatine online that has no brand, and let's just say that I wonder if it's really chalk that I'm consuming. I threw away the bottle I bought and decided not to buy brandless creatine anymore. Which brings us to this point, there has been weird creatine being sold online, and here's the thing about influencers. Some influencers are talking about how good creatine is, with their objective being to sell this creatine supplement. So you have to be discerning to decide whether it's good for you and not believe these influencers as they have an agenda. Now, of course, people are going crazy over protein recently too. Watch this and you understand. Also, if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Thank you for spending almost 6 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.